Live, friends.
We're live now? Oh, we're live on.
Are we in business?
Yeah,
Are we all in business?
Yo, everybody, the Dream Team's back.
Dream Team's back.
Hosted by me and then Nate and Lee. What we're going to do today is episode 22, Big 2-2, the Flat Earth myth. I'm not even giving the dignity of calling it a theory because,
Because it's not.
It's not.
It's not a theory.
What'd you say it was?
Alternative facts.
Alternative facts.
Fake news. As Donald Trump probably loves this show. You know, I'm just saying. He's probably watching it right now and basing the North Korea fucking, strategy over the next couple of weeks. Nuclear bombs and stuff. Yeah, right. Yeah. He's a stage artist.
I saw that tweet.
Wait, you're talking about
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones.
His lawyer in court goes, to take Alex Jones seriously on the show is to say that you're going to take Jack Nicholson's performance of the Joker.
His rendition, of
that's
The Shining.
wild. Well, everybody, we're starting off this discussions really in a lighthearted manner because this is a lighthearted topic in certain regards, but
normally we talk about diseases and clinical breakthroughs and
people dying of cancer,
and cutting edge technology. I think we just took this week to poke some fun at something that is, to be honest, unbelievable. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Ridiculous.
So, what really blows my mind is, there's theories behind gravity, there's theories behind planet formation, and they're very complex, they're complex issues, they're complex, thinking matters, where, if you don't have gravity in a certain amount, to pull all the rocks together and form a planet, you don't have a planet. So people go, well, somebody just put it right there, and the reason why we stick to the planet isn't gravity because gravity's
gravity doesn't exist in the flat Earth model. So we're going to talk about that in depth because for the flat Earth model to work, they have to say that gravity doesn't exist, even though Einstein already proved that gravity exists.
I'm also really curious how you get from one side of the world to the other if it's flat.
Oh, it's a straight line.
Yeah, it's just.
Oh, yeah.
But is it just never end? How does it actually work?
Let's get to it. How about this? Let's get to it. So I'm going to go to the board real quick. And so Nate's question is a really good question. So right here we have the flat Earth theory. And what do you think of the planet? So you'll see this nice white band all around here. That's not a continent. What is it, Nate? Want to take a guess? What's missing?
Some type of continent?
Which one's missing?
It's continent of ice.
Yeah. So Antarctica is not really a continent.
It's a barrier.
It's a wall surrounding the Earth of ice.
So the liquid doesn't fall over.
Yeah. You know how you saw all those.
So it's like a giant bowl.
It's a bowl. Yes. I guess I don't know how high the Antarctic wall is given this theory, but
apparently
it must exist.
NASA controls the wall, and it keeps planes from flying over the wall.
Mm-hmm.
But
border
to
control.
Answer your question,
it's like a Game of Thrones wall where certain people can't get past
it is.
Pretty much. Nobody can get past it. But if you go past it, you fall.
Wait, what's the wall called in Game of Thrones?
It's called the wall.
Oh, okay.
So basically, to answer your question is, in a globe, you have a round globe, and it's the shortest point between 2 points isn't necessarily a straight line. You can't go through the globe. It's not necessarily wrapping around the wide side of the globe. It's going over a rock. So, because our sphere, the globe, is not actually a sphere, it's a spheroid that's a little squished. So it's a little bulgy at the middle.
A little oval.
Yeah. So
I'm having a brain twitch thing. But yeah, keep going with the Antarctic wall thing.
So what Nate's saying is, why can't you just go from here, like in South America, to Australia? So there's a good reason. You have to go up and around because of, it's called the Coriolis effect. If you just go straight, you won't ever make your destination because you'll just veer off to the left. And we'll go into a little bit more detail about that later. However, what a lot of flat earthers use as a means to convey that they're right is that you have to go from South America to the United States, to across the United States, to Australia. And those are straight lines. So those have to be the best way to get there. So I don't know how that proves their point, but that's what they say.
Wait, okay. Well, outside of the whole travel
so
thing.
let's think about one step back. where did we get this from? Was this from the Flat Earth Society's website?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
So everything's from the Flat Earth Society website.
Hey, shout out to the Flat Earth Society website for pretty much ruining the lives of many adult human beings and possibly a whole generation.
Yeah, horrible. Like this is just even horrible.
Hey man, gotta make that
Hey,
content.
shout out to Kyrie
right?
Irving
Gotta
as well.
make
That
content.
is a superstar athlete role model. Yeah, I don't
I
know.
I thought Shaq was trolling.
I think Shaq's trolling us.
I hope Shaq's trolling.
Kyrie
definitely
is
is.
a doctor.
Yeah.
He's got a PhD in education. I mean, there's.
I think Shaq's trolling.
I think he's
said
trolling.
he was trolling.
I hope he's trolling. But Kyrie Irving has been asked about this flat Earth thing multiple times, and
He knows
his
the science.
response is, "I know the science."
So does B.O.B. the rapper. He got in a
He
little
also-
debate with Neil deGrasse Tyson, which was hilarious.
I didn't know this.
Yeah.
What happened
This was
with
a while
that?
ago. So apparently he was saying like
Somebody tag me in that, please.
because the Earth
Yeah.
is
Like
flat.
at me on Twitter.
Like if you go up in the mountains in certain, like one of the mountain ranges in upstate New York, I forget the range, I forget the name, but if you go on the mountain, you can see parts of New York City, right? Like you can't see the whole thing; it's way outside the city. So he was saying, like, look, this proves the Earth is flat because you can see the top of
Dude,
the
you're
skyscrapers.
increasing your elevation.
Exactly. No, that's
Wait. Let's just stop there because like this is a very like fundamental thing. We can actually like prove this. Because if you increase your elevation, right? If you go higher up, right? You're now looking down.
Mhm.
But even at certain altitudes, like well, not at certain altitudes, like there becomes a point where you can't see. Like if the Earth was flat, that means that with the telescope or high power binoculars, something, you could see another continent, right?
Yeah,
Like you can,
forever.
and you can't. Even in increased elevation, you actually can't see another continent,
No.
like unless you get out of the atmosphere.
And another thing is, if you take a picture, like the horizon exists, like this picture here, is if you're high up enough, you take a picture with a nice, really high power lens, you actually see the curvature of the Earth. You can literally see the curvature, but apparently that's Photoshop. I don't know.
So here's the interesting thing.
That's
Wait,
what I'm-
here's
that's
the
what I'm
interesting
told.
thing with NASA. So one of the things that I hear a lot is that NASA created fake photos. So here's the interesting thing.
Oh, I got fake photos.
They're
Ooh, fake photos.
right. These are actually photos from the International Space Station, but NASA does actually doctor photos of the sun to make it look like when you leave the atmosphere, the sun is white.
Yes.
It's not yellow. Like the yellow sun is not like it's actually white. The size and the heat of the sun produces white light. So NASA makes those photos recognizable for people to see. Like that's understandable. I get why they do it. But somebody heard that and totally was like,
Everything's fake.
But even if NASA was the ultimate culprit, there are like 57 space agencies.
Thank you. That's
Like-
one of the biggest thing that upsets me about this whole thing is it would literally be the most coordinated
China,
conspiracy theory
Russia,
of
Japan,
all
Sweden.
time. I mean, you have scientists.
This blows the
international.
anything out of the wall.
Actually,
Yeah. This is literally the biggest hoax of all.
I have a list of.
Yo, could you imagine waking up one day and NASA's like, gotcha, bitches.
Wait,
I-
there's the
I
Indian
was
Space
losing my
Research
mind.
Organization, Canadian Space Agency, Swedish National Space Board, Brazil. I mean, even Brazil. I mean, like every country essentially.
Even the ones that you don't think.
Yeah, even the ones that are
up and up, they're like, hey, man,
like
this
going
shit's
through
rad.
like economic turmoil have space agencies.
Yeah.
Like, and this is not like a debatable thing.
It's like that episode of South Park when they go to Mexico and they have the Mexico NASA.
Oh yeah, they get the whale to go to space. Oh my god. Yeah, that's pretty much what the science
I mean,
is. on
here's
this.
why they have space agencies. Like, we put satellites in space, and like, we have to calculate these things. Like, if the Earth was flat and we didn't need people to understand the mathematics associated with things orbiting our planet, then we wouldn't need space agencies.
No.
But we do.
Or like intercontinental ballistic missiles. You think people go to school just to be like, oh, we're just going to simple Newtonian physics.
Right.
There's no Coriolis effect.
Yeah,
we don't
no.
have to account for the curvature of the
Right,
space.
so let's actually talk. Let's segue into Coriolis effect because Nate had brought this up in a conversation that we had while we were discussing this topic about how snipers actually in the military need to take into consideration.
Brilliant.
the
I would
curvature
never
of
even
their-
thought of that.
of their-
Yeah,
To be
so
honest with you, yeah.
shout out to Joe Rogan because he's literally on this all the time. He is apparently a shill for the round earth people, the rest of us. And he makes a shitload of round earth money telling people that the earth is round. Anyway.
Wait, just a
I
segue.
want
I
to
make
know.
actually I get paid by the round earth people the
Yeah.
big farmer people, the cancer suppressors.
I need to get in on that money, man.
Yo, dude,
How do I get in on
listen,
that?
I have to forward you an email that's written in a language that no one speaks, and then you have to decode it using Scrabble pieces
Gotcha.
in a different
Tinfoil
language.
hats.
Yeah, exactly.
Tinfoil
Right.
hats.
And then the message just teleports. No, none of that shit happens. We don't get paid to fucking lie to people. That's not what's going on here.
Yeah, seriously. I wish I could get paid. Look, we have a show, for God's sakes. Like, when do I start getting my money?
I would love
No,
to have
when
a
does Dr.
sponsor.
D's discussions get money?
Round Earth Society, just right in the bottom
Yeah.
corner, right? No, but-
Paid for and sponsored by
Hey,
Honor Society.
actually, that's actually. I don't know if Around Earth Society exists on Facebook, but like I
It
told
shouldn't,
you,
because it's everyone else.
I know,
Yes.
but I think someone should just
It's
make
the truth.
it
Just for
like
fun?
just for
Just
fun.
for
Like,
shits.
and if someone does, please like find me on Instagram and like send me a link like to this Facebook page so I can just so we can just build it like 200,000 strong.
So let's
But real quick, long story short, snipers have to take into consideration the curvature of the Earth in order to plan their shots because of how long of a distance the bullet has to travel.
Yeah.
And if they don't take into consideration other factors like wind and 10,000 other things, they're going to miss their shot. So-
actually the longest shot ever fired was
I'm actually gonna do some live adjustments right now because I got questions over here. I'm trying to read this.
What kind of questions you got?
So-
Ray?
I got questions. Flat Earth people use the Bible as a reference. That's how they know. It's all right. I won't say it out loud. That was
To be
kind of
honest with you, a
offensive,
lot of
but-
flat earthers will deny that. A lot of flat earthers will deny the fact that they get their knowledge from the Bible or anything of that sort. They actually go based upon bad science and pseudoscience, where they try to explain things like gravity, for instance. That gravity doesn't exist except for the fact that the disk is like my phone, and it's just moving through space like this. And they relate it to the fact that, have you ever been in a really fast-moving, accelerated car? Or like a roller coaster where you, boom, you
Yes.
go, and you're launched back in your seat, and you can't move forward or anything like that, is that we're moving at such a fast rate that you're just clung to the surface of the planet.
That's
So,
the theory.
That's a theory that there's no
because gravity doesn't exist.
There's only centripetal force or centrifugal
So I have an
force.
interesting thing that concerns me here.
What about this?
So obviously the sun and the moon are part of the flat Earth myth, right? Because we have fucking
I feel
days.
like they have to be.
They have to be, right? It's
Okay.
like they see it. I mean, it's very hard for them to be like. I mean, I think the biggest part of the problem is here is that
Fake news.
we can't. People don't see gravity. I mean, gravity is essentially like birth in mathematics. I mean, like, so it's very hard for people to get it as far as like a conceptual thing. Like, yeah, gravity exists. You can't feel it. You can't touch it. It's a hard concept to follow. But you see the
but
sun and the
I
moon.
can hear you. Like, I can't see sound waves.
Right.
Shit.
I
Like, come on.
I wonder if deaf people think that. No, I mean,
Oh god.
but
It's the flat death.
how
my God.
how does the Earth? I mean, how does the sun and the moon stay around
And
the flat Earth if
dude,
gravity
they say
doesn't
that, like,
exist?
for like lunar eclipses and stuff, that there's different discs that go in front of the moon.
Okay, so
Literally, they make things up to answer
So I have a-
more profound questions.
I have a
rather than
demonstration about
giving
this.
science.
I'm really
I have a
excited
demonstration.
to
So look, just hold this.
Mhm.
All right, look. That's the sun.
Oh, and the sun.
Yeah, the sun. This is the Earth, right? Okay. Let's say the moon is over here, right? So for a lunar eclipse to take place in the flat Earth model, the moon has to do this. No one sees this shit. Like, no one has had a video of this. like the moon doesn't do that. Like the moon doesn't do that. In normal Earth, in normal Earth, of course, these things are hundreds of thousands of millions of kilometers away, right? And so the moon actually is in between here, and from this visual point, you can't see it. Yeah. That's how
It's a
actual
shadow.
eclipses
Have you ever been
happen.
sitting down and you're talking at a buddy who's standing up and the sun's behind him and you're like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
he's
exactly.
the moon and the sun is literally the sun.
Please, my flat Earth people that are probably watching this because you hate me and you follow my page just because I'm popular or something like that. Please, like, let me know. Show the video where you're like watching the moon shoot across the sky in front of the sun. I would just love to see this. I would get a flat Earth tomorrow if you just tag me in that video.
All right, so do you remember in physics class when you were calculating the vector of the boat going across the stream?
Wait, vectors and scalars? We going
Yeah,
back to
yeah.
vectors and scalars
So
for physics?
this kind of explains the Coriolis effect, where you're trying to row a boat across the stream, and the stream's going this way at 10 kilometers a second. And let's say you can row your boat at 5 kilometers a second, or 5 meters a second. Sorry, God, kilometers are fast. So 10 meters a second going south, you're going west at 5 meters a second, whatever.
Oh, I just got an interesting point. One of the guys that are on that's watching the show says that flat earthers use electromagnetism, density, and buoyancy to replace the effects of gravity.
Where I could see that on a galactic scale, because a lot of the theories now for astrophysics, from what my basic understanding is that the main sculptor of galaxies isn't gravity, it's actually electromagnetic propulsion of stars with incredible amounts of mass, with incredible amounts of polarity, setting off electromagnetic.
Somebody with a physics degree, please
Yes.
verify what Dave said, because like he
Please.
lost me as soon as he said.
Yeah.
So it's like they're like advanced degree in biology. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I know him in biology, but like literally, from what I understand of it, is that a lot of the new theories coming out isn't necessarily centered around gravity being the only and primary source of attraction in the universe.
But what about field lines? They don't work on a flat Earth. Like field lines are a property of magnetism.
Yeah.
They don't
And
work
they're-
on. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
they're freaking
They
round!
don't work on a flat Earth.
So imagine like
Only in capacitors, which they have to be aligned. So unless there's a counter Earth above us,
We wouldn't have
that
that.
are modulating the
think about it this way.
magnetism.
The reason why we have an atmosphere is because we have the magnetic sphere controlling the blasts of radiation from the sun. We would look like Mars if we didn't have that. All our atmosphere would get blown away and ionized away.
Yeah.
So
Via like gamma radiation
So
from.
I guess you could have this magnetic field, but what's creating it? What creates it in the Earth is a freaking core of iron that is shaped like a freaking ball.
And it's round because of gravity.
Yes, with pressure, causing it to be molten iron around the solid iron nickel core. So I don't understand how you can.
So
Where's this
what
magnetic field coming from? Did God just put it up the Earth's like flat butt?
So. He provided some of the materials that we're using here that we will definitely post on our website and in our comments for you. But he says that the electromagnetic influence on a large scale is minimal. Like it's not enough to actually influence the way that the planetary motion, like the principal thing that creates orbits, is definitely
I'm looking at a galactic
gravity.
scale. So I guess I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, if
I'm
you
not,
don't have gravity,
I'm
does
not
that
a physicist.
collapse?
I'm not a physicist, so I don't know. But a lot of people say with galactic formation is that they keep it.
You mean like the formation of different types of galaxies,
Yes.
like spiral versus
Yes.
like? Okay, maybe.
Andromeda shape versus our shape versus like X fucking 7996 galaxy out whatever.
Riley, we're
cluster.
getting way outside of the
But
scope.
yes.
I think there was a really good point there, is that you said a lot of the new theories are using this electromagnetic theory.
So now,
I
Earthers
think
will
they're
use
going
it.
about it the wrong way though. Instead of trying, so science is all about the scientific method, right? You have a
Right.
hypothesis, your entire model is built to prove this theory or disprove this theory.
Right.
Right? So if they already have this theory that they think is true, they're building an entirely new model around it, trying
Right,
to prove
which is
the
counterintuitive
theory.
to the way science works. I mean,
Exactly.
you start with the null hypothesis, which means that nothing works. Like, is there a difference? Your basic assumption is that there is no difference. If I pour acid on Bob's face, is his face going to melt off? The null hypothesis says nothing happens. Right? So I test that by pouring. This is a horrible analogy, but I think it gets the point across. This is a very bad analogy. I'm sorry.
It's a great analogy. you made that analogy.
Right,
so
but when
great.
Bob's face melts off, then we have evidence that the hypothesis is supported. That his
that's
face
crazy.
would melt off if I poured acid on it.
Oh, God. So the underlying issue here is that I believe in our society, too many people believe in conspiracy theories.
I think that's the underlying thing, though. There's a
Because
distrust.
It's cool. It's cool to have knowledge that people don't have.
Yes.
Right? Like it's cool to get the new Kendrick album before everyone else has it. It's cool. It's cool.
You got the new
It's
Kendrick
dope.
album?
No, everyone's got it.
It's
But
fire.
anyway,
It's fire.
the point is,
I'm glad he didn't say anything about the flat Earth, and I would like have to disown him or
if
something.
Kendrick was a flat Earth fan,
Oh,
I would have rethink a lot of my music.
You would have seen me for like 10 weeks. So.
Anyway, it's cool to go against the grain, right? It's
Yes.
cool to go against what popular culture
Right.
says. Popular culture, Earth is round. Fuck that. Earth is flat, right? The rise of fake news. This is literally the rise of fake news.
Right.
Now people have lost the ability to use context clues to discern what is real and what is fake.
That is
It's for me personally, I think it's really easy to go to a website, read something, search for the same thing on another website,
using
to see
other,
if it's the same type of
multiple
content.
sources that can confirm whatever position. Let's talk
on
about
top of that
tides.
is
How do
that-
tides work if there's no gravity? Also,
There's a lot of things that
Yeah.
wouldn't work if the Earth was flat.
Do you have a little?
yeah, actually, I have a big thing about controlled by the gravitational force of the moon, high tide and low tide. That wouldn't exist if the moon wasn't orbiting like our planet and there wasn't a gravitational force associated with the moon. The moon is a large mass literally pulling on the water on our planet. So if that doesn't exist, then how does the water isn't fucking magnetic? So I don't know like how that works.
It's polar.
Wait, pause. Wait. It's polar. All right, kind of. Yeah. As an individual molecule, yes. I mean.
Yeah, but on
But Halo. Wait. Listen,
So guys, I have the ultimate explanation for this. X-Men genes.
Oh Jesus!
X-Men genes.
So Professor X is controlling the world.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I will say this though.
Magneto.
Magneto.
Because it's magnetic spheres.
Yeah.
Like nanopure water has like, I think the isoelectric point is like 0 because there's absolutely no ions in it.
Mhm.
So that's another story. We use it in molecular biology, so there's no like.
I love nanopure water.
Yeah, we drink it all the time. Shout out to nanopure water real quick.
Don't drink that. You'll die.
Wait. Nah, you wouldn't. You definitely will get like. At first, probably
No,
flavorless.
you will die.
Really? Are you sure?
Because if you drink like distilled water or something like that,
Like
distilled water,
only?
if you literally drink like enough of it, you'll become
Hypersonic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Well, I mean,
something-
assuming that you also aren't eating anything, you're not getting any salts from any other sources. Like you're just on water only. Yeah, that's possible. Besides, everybody don't just only drink water. You can die from that shit. Like,
Yeah, you can actually die from drinking too much water.
Yeah, at one given time. Like.
Yeah. There
You'll
was
actually
that-
get drunk first. and
There's
then
that
die.
woman on the radio who drank too much water trying to win an Xbox One.
Was that 2
4
years ago?
It was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, she died, drank too much water.
Jesus.
Yeah. Sucks. Sorry to ruin the mood, but
Yeah. God damn it. But my grandmother had a question. If the Earth was flat, how could we have sunset and sunrise?
All right, so that's another one too.
So Lee's got all these answers. For
So I've got because I've been researching like some flat Earth shit all day. Actually, I feel stupider.
Much.
Exactly,
There
but
we
that's how stupid I feel. I feel stupider because I've been reading this flat Earth stuff all day. Actually, I was in the lab, like on lunch break, looking up some of this stuff, and I'm like laughing hysterically. It's like people are in the lab, like, hey, what are you doing? We're like, what's so funny? And over here, but there's no sun over here, and that's where like you have like these sunsets. But like just from a physics perspective, if the Earth was flat, even if the sun wasn't directly over you, you would still be able to see the light source.
Well, they say it's a spotlight.
Yeah, but you would still be able to see
Yeah,
it. Like you can't see the sun.
Have you ever been next to like a football field, like a high school football field, out in the middle of the country, and then like been a couple miles away, maybe a mile away, you can still see the lights.
Right, even
That's
though they're
my
not over
point.
there. Yeah, exactly.
Just-
You would still be able to see the sun at night if the Earth was flat and if it was just hovering over the fire. Besides the point, what is keeping the sun up? If there's no
Strings.
gravity, I'm just saying.
It's all accelerating in the same way. But like the distance, oh yeah, so the distance around the center of how like the spotlight goes, like
Right.
this. Say this is the direct center.
Mhm.
This is summer. This is winter.
That's how it works
That's
in
how
this
it
model.
works in this
Wow.
model. Yeah, right here.
Has nothing to do with the distance away from being around a large heat source that we're orbiting on.
So I would just want to bring up one point, and then I want to go on the conspiracy thing.
All right, yeah, we're going to segue into like conspiracy theories as a whole
So
because this is really rooted in.
Eratosthenes back in God knows when BC.
Shout out to, what is that, Arachnids?
Eratosthenes? So he's some Greek guy who calculated from Alexandria to some well in Cyrene the distance between the two.
And where is Serene?
Egypt, this whole idea.
Okay.
So they took two distances, calculated the distance across, and then did Euclidean mathematics and figured out the circumference and the radius of the Earth.
Right.
In a highly, highly efficient manner.
Pretty dope.
Dude, he was literally only off by like a couple thousand meters.
Great.
Like maybe 100 kilometers.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got another thing.
Right.
Speaking of distance in kilometers, you know that we have different time zones. So
Oh, yeah.
if the Earth is flat,
Why do we have
is that
It's
where's
the spotlight.
Wait.
The spotlight
It's
moves.
moving.
So
It's a moving spotlight now.
Right, we
It's
aren't.
It's on time.
We're
It's
so
on time.
right, so we aren't actually experiencing different time zones. It's a fictitious element
Yep.
associated with the spotlight hovering over.
Yeah, NASA controls
That makes
Perfect sense. Perfect sense.
Even though time
No.
zones were invented in like
I
the
get it.
1800s.
I totally get it.
Jesus Christ. So my whole thing about
So
this,
we
look
covered
at these
eclipses.
great pictures of the Earth. These are all photoshopped. They don't exist. It's all fake news. But
I will say that we aren't doing this like an epic justice, by the way, because we're not like really like I have like a year of physics, and that is not enough to actually. There's a whole bunch of math that is like in these notes that I'm not even talking about because
I can't do that kind of math.
yeah, it will take me like
I haven't done calculus in like
it'll
9
take me
years.
like a week to like. We're in a just on a segue. We're doing like complex statistics in this class right now, and it is like ridiculous. So, but besides that, we're gonna post these notes where you can just get like real deal, like hardcore juice. Yeah. We're just here for your flat Earth entertainment.
So, regardless of whether a person can give you statistics on flat Earth or Coriolis effect or any type of BS that they're going to like try to like disprove with whatever kind of pseudoscience they want, my whole thing is I come back to this paper in PLOS One, pretty good journal where the bar to get into PLOS One isn't necessarily the prestige of like a Nature or Cell like type publication.
All journals are created equal.
However, the PLOS One was made and come together by scientists that they'll keep the level of the amount of money needed to publish low so that good science can be put forth in this journal. And it's all peer reviewed, it's all good. So this particular conspiracy theory equation calculates that, I don't even know what half those symbols are, but
I see a theta in there.
I see a derivative in there. So basically, breaking this down and into simple plain English is that you take a certain population that knows a fact, whether it's the moon landing, vaccines causing autism, the flat Earth theory, whatever conspiracy theory of your choice. JFK getting shot by Ted Cruz's freaking dad. Like all the people that know about this. And
I've actually heard that before, and I was
Donald
like,
Trump. Yeah.
what the fuck did you just say?
Donald Trump, man. Yeah, he believes in conspiracy theories. So they put this in together and put it over time. Like so you have, let's say, 5,000 people that know a certain thing, let's say the flat Earth, since we're talking about flat Earth.
NASA, all of the international space agencies around the world.
Bingo. So let's say lowball, 5,000 people, 10,000 people know this thing. So 10,000 people know a secret. Have you guys ever tried to keep a secret from somebody? Have you ever tried to keep a secret from me?
Try. It doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't really work. So at one point, one of those 10,000 people are going to go home, 4th of July, out on a Friday night. The secretary of the guy who discovered the cure for cancer is going to get drunk with her girlfriends and go, "Hey guys, oh my God, he's got the cure for cancer." So there's only so many people you can kill off before it gets, like, that's the other side to it. Like people say, "Oh, this is a bullshit theory," because
Right. There's always the whistleblower that is from the inside that knows. Now, I mean, to that extent.
How many whistleblowers can you have out of 10,000 people?
I mean,
Regardless.
yeah. I mean, it's besides the.
Regardless. So over the course of, let's say, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, you're going to have them spill the beans. And I like graphs. Graphs are nice.
This is our unique
Graphs are
spill.
very visual.
These are our spill the beans chart.
Spill the beans
and
chart.
Spills the bean extrapolation.
So here on the x-axis is in time in years. Here is the log of failure of the probability. So basically, all that's fancy-dancy language for is there's an increasing amount of probability, all the way up to 1 or 100%, of somebody spilling the beans over time. So regardless, you have over the course of 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, a 99% chance that you're going to spill the beans on vaccine producers included and public health bodies alone. So with vaccine producers, look at how many times China gets like a new, I don't know, patent that they stole from whatever X company in the US.
Right.
Do you really think that wouldn't apply to like the cure for cancer?
Well,
I don't think like some company in China is not going to go, let's investigate Merck or GlaxoSmithKline or pick a number of big pharma companies, and they're going to be like, all right, we're going to pay Nate. Say you're a researcher, you just.
There's no amount of money that you can pay hundreds of thousands of people to keep a global conspiracy in every country.
Not to mention the amount of revenue
every
that
scientific
generated in order to pay those people.
We're actually like giving you like the nuts and bolts associated with this plot behind us, but in our notes it's actually like hardcore described as like something called the Gumpspersian population decay, and it talks about the failure of conspiracy theories. They're greater than 5% when they're at under 650 people. When they exceed 650 people, like the conspiracy theory fail rate starts to exponentially grow.
So the chart
650? That doesn't seem like a lot.
It's not a lot of people. Like that's in an auditorium, you know what I'm saying? Like you're talking about national.
That's one class.
Right.
Of
You're talking about like national agencies that employ thousands of people, hundreds, if not a million people worldwide work in this type of thing that would have to all camaraderie.
Yeah. So right here is to sustain a conspiracy theory for more than 10 years, less than 1,000 people can be involved, even with a genuine estimate of a p-value of 4 to 10 to the minus 6 derived in this work.
Right.
So basically all that's fancy language for is you need to have 1,000 people at most for a 10-year conspiracy theory. I don't know, vaccines have been around since what, the 60s?
I don't even want to get into like my friend is commenting on the 9/11 conspiracy. I don't want to get into that.
Oh, did you know that jet fuel melts still beams?
No, I don't want to get into this debate, but I will say something that is something else that's mentioned when I was doing the flat Earth research. Flat Earth people, right? So the Earth's not round, and there's no gravity, so there's no like atmosphere, right? So there's flat, so there's like a dome or something like that, right? We all live in a flat surface, and there's a dome. All right, so here's an interesting phenomenon.
Can we nuke the dome?
I don't know what the dome's made out of, but there's a dome of some sort, maybe glass. I don't know. That's another thing too. But I won't get into that.
Who's in charge of this dome?
NASA.
Yeah.
That's in charge of the dome.
But NASA's only been around for like 40 years.
So wait,
right?
Wait,
they got their budget cut.
they only have 5% of like the whole GDP or some shit like that. But with that said,
0.15 or something.
Yeah, something crazy. So here's like a chemistry fact. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius.
Are you sure about that? Is that an alternative fact?
No, it's not. So that's what, at sea level, right? And the reason it boils at that temperature at sea level is because of the pressure. If you have a pot and the water's boiling, there's an X amount of pressure, which is considered 1 torr, that is required. So when you're boiling water, that produces heat. Heat energy is required for that, right? And the pressure above that is working against you. So at that degree of temperature, that's how much energy you need for that water to turn into vapor.
Yeah.
On higher altitudes, you need less heat energy, so water boils at lower degrees. Water will boil at 96 degrees at a mountain or something like that, right? That happens in this world. But in the flat Earth world, where you're in a dome, right? If you're at the center, then yes, this is the maximum amount of atmospheric pressure, right? This is the most air above you. But if you move over it in a curved dome, that means that there's less air above you. So that means over here, it should boil at a lower temperature.
So according
that doesn't happen.
So South America, according to this picture,
should be able to, they
should boil water
at
80 degrees C?
I don't know, 36 degrees Celsius. I don't know. They should be able to boil.
Wake up in the morning,
they
should
be boiling.
Boiling right away.
So yes, water should be boiling essentially based on this model.
That goes directly against the Antarctic wall ice theory.
Yes.
This is crazy. This is crazy. I can't believe somebody actually believes this and goes, no, round earthers are wrong.
Well, technically, yeah, so it's less energy. So that means that like it would be cooler there, or it would be hotter there, but the water would still be like freezing because less energy is required or something like that. It gets really weird. It starts, first of all, it violates like thermodynamics.
If there's less pressure, it's going to just...
Wait, would it be... There's less.
Less pressure.
There's less
Turn it into
pressure,
a gas.
but you need less energy. So that means it would get cold quicker.
Turn it into a gas if you have less pressure.
If it was hot, but it's cold air. We're assuming that it's cold air in this model. We're assuming that it's cold in the flat Earth
Is
model.
that because the spotlight's in the center?
Yes, that's what we're at. We're assuming that it's cold at the edges
Well, what
because
happens-
the spotlight doesn't go over there.
Jesus. Yeah, this will make my head hurt. Just trying
It
to
is.
like, wrap
It's-
my head
it
around
is.
it.
It's
I
good.
wonder. I now know why dumb people will believe this, because
Well-
once you throw a whole bunch of crap at the wall and a little bit of it sticks, someone's gonna go, "Yeah, it's so complicated. This must be the right thing."
I don't want to call
Because
flat
it's
earthers
easier than
dumb though,
equations.
because
No, I think, look, it comes
it's not their fault. It's not really their fault.
How is it
It-
not
it-
their
but
fault?
This is why I say this. Let me make this
How is it
argument.
not
Wait,
their
let me
fault?
make this
Yeah.
argument. Let me make this argument. Because it's the same with medical stuff too. When people don't have expertise, if you make something sound sciencey, if you make it sound legitimate, people are inclined to. We see this in the news all the time. New study shows rubbing your feet on fucking babies makes your fever. Whatever. Like, it could be any claim. They heard it on the news. They said a scientist did a
Running
new
water
study.
and cucumber water makes you
Whatever. Lose weight.
Dr.
like,
Oz says eat this to lose weight.
Gimple, Booba, Act, whatever the fuck it's called, Cambodia, whatever it's
Whoever's
called.
paying him for the month.
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So people are just inclined to believe things that are kind of outside of their scope, right?
Yep.
And so when somebody says, hey, look, the earth isn't round and it's flat because of this, that, and the third, and they sound remotely intelligent, I don't blame the layperson. This is why we're doing this
No,
show,
I
right?
think
So
it-
we can give the layperson factual information.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. You definitely want to give factual information, but I think it comes down to, again, context clues and
Yeah.
knowing how to research and knowing how to discern what is real. And if it sounds like it's not real, it literally takes 5 minutes to go on Google and type in the exact same article that you're
Yes.
looking for, same title, see what shows up.
There are plenty
right?
of articles that break down the science in such simple
Yeah.
terms.
Especially,
Debunking.
especially
Yes.
now, especially
But
now that
nobody wants to do
Facebook is
that.
cracking down on fake news and alternative news,
Yes,
and Google's
thank God.
cracking down on fake news and alternative
I mean, it's
news.
great for Google because, I mean, like, to be honest, when you search cure for cancer, the first 3 pages aren't legitimate websites.
No.
They're popular blogs and you know, it's not real information. So I have been in many debates where, like, just Google it.
Gene cards.
Cool.
Good source, but
Yeah.
still, it's
Well,
a
Gene Cards
exaggeration.
is procured, like, I don't want to get into Gene Cards, most people don't know what that is, but like Gene Cards is a website that talks about genetic, you can search a gene and give you the information. Yeah. So, but there is procured from like the NIH websites and PubMed and stuff like that.
There's good sources. However, there's a lot of websites that will just spit out crap.
Yeah, I mean, Google doesn't, up until
With good
recently, Google
SEO
doesn't
guys.
verify.
So Google's trying to give users the best experience they have. So if someone clicks on a link in the first position and they leave, Google takes that into consideration and thinks, okay, that's not what they wanted. I'm going to think about this next time I run my algorithms, and I'm going to push a different link to the top.
Right.
So Google's trying to serve the most relevant information to whatever you're
But that
searching for.
doesn't mean it's factually correct.
Not
right?
only is not fact, not only does it mean it's always factually correct, but there have been plenty of instances over the last couple months where Google has pushed the wrong news sources to the top of the results. They had the incorrect electoral college count when Trump was elected. They had a couple of incorrect things that have come out recently, like, oh, we're changing algorithms, blah, blah, blah,
Right.
blah. Don't get me wrong, Google's really good at what they do, and I believe them when they say they are changing their algorithms to reduce these things.
Right.
But it's not going to be 100%.
Ever, because ultimately it's a search engine. You have to have some human accountability associated.
Unless they make
with,
freaking iRobot, the thinking AI, it's always going to be
Right.
reactive instead of proactive. It needs to have data to work off of in order to determine what action it needs to take. You can't predict.
Right. So I could spam my bullshit website and not our bullshit website,
have
but
good
a
SEO guy.
bullshit website that has straight up fake news on it. But as long as it's getting enough traffic and people are on it reading the articles, Google is going to put it up there, and that's part of the actual problem associated
Dude, we
with
gotta, we gotta get on this bandwagon.
It depends.
This is a gravy train.
Right? It depends. It'll get up to the top, and then at some point, like so there's an algorithm, there's a little bit of manual to teach you. At some point, someone's going to say, "Whoa, we don't
But the
want
damage
this.
is already done.
Yes.
Yeah, it's already been shared 10,000 times on
Damage is
Facebook.
already done. That's the problem. So like, I don't know if you guys saw.
Where did
like,
that come from?
I don't know how much longer we want to go for, but if you go on Facebook, it was a couple of days ago, maybe a week ago, there was an announcement saying that, like, hey, we're cracking down on fake news, like, learn more, blah, 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 and all this bullshit. What they're trying to do is use independent third parties to verify sources. I think that's the way to do it, right?
Right.
Go to Snopes or Politico or whatever the fuck you're talking about.
Right.
Keep it outside of your platform. That way you're not the one who's saying this is true, this is false. Because
Mhm.
if Facebook is saying this is true, this is false, everyone's going to say Facebook's a bunch of liberals run out of California. Oh,
Right.
it's not
Then
right.
it becomes a non-objective perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Facebook is run by mostly liberals, but that's a whole different story for a
Right.
whole different day.
What about corporate ones?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
That's
So I think we
however-
hammered this home. I think we hammered this home.
What's our time point right now? What time is it?
We're at 47 minutes.
We're at 47 minutes. All right, check this out. We can talk about this all day long because there's actually so much data that disproves this thing. As far as my Instagram people that are tuning in, that are having this conversation on my live, move that conversation to the recent video that I posted on my Instagram so you guys can keep discussing it and your comments will disappear. This way you can debate the flat earth stuff as much as you want and I can chime in as well.
Follow me at Doc Dave Discussions.
Doc Dave is actually tagged in that post, so go ahead and look at the caption and he's right there. And, bring it up to him because he's got a
obviously everybody, Facebook and Instagram, bioislifemedia.com. Check us out. And then we'll be back this Sunday with GMOs, genetically modified organisms. And I'm going to talk about my favorite genetically modified organisms, the BL6 mouse, the BL57 mouse. I love the BL57 mouse.
I'm gonna talk about some agriculture real quick because I know that's really the biggest thing right now. We got
Monsanto.
shout out to my people in Monsanto doing great science though. Real talk. I'm just saying though.
But at the same time, we'll talk about GMOs, any risk factors associated with it, risk. I highly doubt there is. I've read a little bit about it in passing. But this is something that we're going to be a little bit more up to date on in terms of the science because we're geneticists, supposedly. But
geneticists.
But yeah, so we'll be able to give you guys a little bit more of an in-depth analysis of the science behind it, and then also, kind of give us our opinion of whether or not it's safe, it's sound, whether it has any type of ethical repercussions in terms of, you genetically modify a plant and it overruns the natural order of things.
Or a baby, which is coming soon, probably within the next 2 decades.
Brought to you by China. But yeah, so I think that wraps us up.